If he truly loves you, he'll disappear. Listen, listen, listen. Now hold on. I know the title sounds a little wild, but let me break it down for you. If he truly loves you, he'll disappear. I ain't talking about ghost in you like some teenager on a dating app. No, no. I'm talking about the kind of disappearing that means he steps back from all the distractions, the noise, the nonsense that's trying to pull you away from what you need to do. Because when a man truly loves a woman, he ain't just there for the good times, he's there for the growth. See, real love is about trust. Real love is about faith. And sometimes the deepest love shows itself when a man gives you space. Space to grow. Space to chase your dreams. Space to be yourself without him holding on so tight. Because love ain't about possession, it's about freedom. If he's there all the time hanging around, trying to control your every move, then baby, that ain't love. That's fear, and fear is the enemy of everything good. Now, listen to me. When a man really loves you, he'll disappear from your daily distractions so he can come back with something bigger, something better. He's not running away. He's preparing to build a life with you that no one can mess with. Because sometimes the best way to prove love is to let go. Let go of your fears, your doubts, and let love work its magic. So if you find yourself asking, why did he leave? Why did he disappear? Remember this, sometimes the greatest love stories start with a little space and a whole lot of faith. If he truly loves you, he'll come back stronger, better, and ready to hold you like you deserve. And if he don't, baby, that just means you deserve better. Love is freedom, not possession. Now listen here. Love is something mighty powerful, but it ain't a cage. You ever seen a bird in a cage? That bird might look pretty. It might sing sweet songs, but deep down it's trapped. And love ain't supposed to trap nobody. Real love is about freedom. It's about letting the other person breathe, spread their wings and fly. When you try to hold on too tight, you don't show love, you show fear. Fear of losing, but love, true love, is brave. It lets go. I see too many folks confused about this. They think love means possession, like, if I love you, you gotta be with me every minute. Nah, that ain't love, that's control. When you love somebody, you want them to be their best self, even if that means sometimes they gotta be away. Real love trusts that if it's meant to be, it'll find its way back. You don't keep love by gripping it. You keep love by nurturing it. Freedom in love is like the air we breathe. Without it, things start to suffocate. You want your partner to grow, to chase dreams, to have friends, to be happy. Because your happiness depends on theirs. Love that chains somebody down, that ain't love, that's possession, and possession always ends up in pain. Don't confuse the two. Now, some folks might say, if he's truly mine, he won't want to be anywhere else. But love don't work like that. Love works like trust, and trust works like freedom. If you hold someone too close, trying to keep them in your hands, all you do is push them away. Love is something you have to give space to, so it can stretch, grow, and get stronger. See, when you give love freedom, you build respect. Respect for their choices, respect for their feelings, respect for their space. And respect is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship. Without respect, love crumbles like a house built on sand. Freedom and respect go hand in hand like peanut butter and jelly. You can't have one without the other. Think about it. If you love someone, you want them to live fully, right? You want them to have their own dreams, their own passions, and their own journey. You want to celebrate their wins, support their failures, and be their number one fan. But you can't do all that if you're trying to clip their wings. Love doesn't cage, it lifts. Now, I ain't saying you just let people come and go however they want without any accountability. That's different. I'm talking about the love that knows the difference between caring and controlling. You gotta care enough to let go sometimes. Love is big enough to handle distance and time. If it's real, it ain't scared. Here's the thing about freedom in love. It builds confidence. When you feel free in a relationship, you become the best version of yourself. You stop pretending. You stop hiding. You bring your whole self to the table. And that kind of love, that honest love, it's unbreakable. When you try to possess someone, you're really trying to fill your own emptiness. You're scared that without them, you won't be whole. But love ain't about filling emptiness. It's about sharing fullness. You bring your fullness, they bring theirs, and together you create something beautiful. Remember, freedom in love means you don't have to check their phone, stalk their social media, or get jealous over nothing. Freedom means trusting their heart is loyal because you've given them a reason to be. Jealousy and possession are symptoms of insecurity, and insecurity kills love slow. So what's the moral? If you love somebody, don't cage them. Let them fly, let them breathe, because when they fly free, that's when you really see the beauty of who they are. And if they come back, it's because they want to be there, not because they had to be there. Love is freedom, baby, not chains, not locks, not your mine or your nothing. Love is a wide, open sky where two souls dance together, wild and free. And if you're trying to hold on too tight, you might just be the reason love slips right out your hand. Freedom is love's greatest gift. And when you give it, you show you believe in that love with everything you got. Disappearance can mean preparation sometimes. When a man disappears, it ain't because he don't love you. Sometimes it means he's working behind the scenes, getting ready for something big. Now, I know when somebody leaves, your mind might run wild. Did I do something wrong? Is he playing me? But slow down and think about this. What if that disappearance is not about leaving you, but about making a way for you? Life don't hand out blessings on a silver platter. Sometimes you got a grind in the shadows. Sometimes the greatest moves happen when nobody's watching. That man disappearing, maybe he's out there building his empire. Maybe he's fixing what's broken inside himself so he can be better for you. You don't always get to see the whole picture. When you love somebody, you gotta have faith that absence isn't always absence. It can be growth. It can be healing. It can be preparation. Like a farmer who plants seeds and has to wait through the seasons before the harvest, sometimes love requires patience. That waiting is hard, but it's necessary. I've seen too many folks give up too soon. They see a man disappear and assume the worst. But what if he's just getting ready? What if he's making sure he can protect you, provide for you, and be the man you deserve before he steps back in? That kind of preparation shows love in its quietest form. Think about how life works. You don't start a fire with wet wood. Sometimes you gotta wait for things to dry out, for conditions to be right, for the timing to be perfect. And love is the same way. The man who disappears and works behind the scenes, he's waiting for that perfect moment to light up your life. Disappearance ain't always about running away. Sometimes it's about running toward a better version of yourself and your future. The strongest love stories are filled with seasons of waiting and preparation. And if you don't understand that, you miss the blessing when it finally comes. You gotta learn to trust the process, trust the timing. That man disappearing might hurt you now, but it's planting seeds of something better down the road. You gotta be patient because good things take time, and love is worth the wait. There's a difference between someone who disappears because they don't care and someone who disappears because they're working to care better. It's the difference between running away and running a marathon to win your heart. Don't confuse the two. When love is real, even the silence speaks volumes. Sometimes what ain't said right now is just as important as what will be said later. Disappearance can be the silent promise that better days are coming. Remember, every great comeback story has a season where the hero disappears from the spotlight, trains hard, and returns stronger than ever. Love ain't any different. When a man disappears, don't panic. Pray, prepare, and believe. That disappearance might just be the calm before the storm, the quiet before the celebration. When he comes back, you'll see a man transformed, not because he stopped loving you, but because he's getting ready to love you in a way you never imagined. So when he disappears, don't lose hope. Let that time be a season of faith. Trust that he's preparing a future where your love can thrive like never before. Disappearance can mean preparation, and preparation means victory. Trust is the foundation of love. You want to know what holds love together. Trust ain't nothing else. Trust is the glue that keeps two people sticking through the rough patches, the storms, the misunderstandings. Without trust, love falls apart like a cheap suit on laundry day. You gotta have trust or you ain't got nothing. Think about it. You meet somebody new and it starts with trust. You trust them not to hurt you, not to lie to you, not to disrespect you. And that trust grows over time, or it breaks. Love without trust is like building a house on quicksand. It might look good, but it won't last. When you trust somebody, you feel safe. You don't have to watch your back or worry what they are doing when you're not around. Trust lets you relax. It lets you be vulnerable without fear. And vulnerability is where love grows deepest. Now, trust is earned, not given. You can't just say, "I trust you," and expect it to stick like glue if your actions don't back it up. Trust is built with honesty, consistency, and respect. You show trust by being trustworthy yourself. Without trust, jealousy creeps in, doubt shows up, suspicion knocks on the door, and when those things come in, love starts to die. You can't love and be suspicious at the same time. It's impossible. You gotta choose, love or doubt. Sometimes trust is tested. Somebody messes up, says the wrong thing, breaks a promise. But that's when you gotta decide if you're gonna hold on or let go. True love is forgiving, but it ain't stupid. Trust has to be rebuilt when it's broken, and that takes time and effort. Trust also means giving people the benefit of the doubt. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't assume the worst. Trust means believing in the goodness of the one you love, even when you don't understand everything. When you build a relationship on trust, it's like building a fortress. Nothing can break in. You can face life's storms together because you know your foundation is solid. And that kind of love, it lasts a lifetime. So if you want love that sticks, start with trust. Without it, all the fancy words and promises mean nothing. Trust is love's foundation, and without it, the whole thing collapses. Growth requires space. Love ain't about being glued to somebody like glue on a postcard. Love is about growing as individuals and growing together. And growth, my friend, requires space. Space to breathe, space to learn, space to stumble and get back up. When you don't give each other space, love starts to feel like a prison. It becomes tight and small and suffocating. Nobody grows in a prison. Growth needs room, just like a plant needs sunlight and water. You gotta remember, before two people can come together, they gotta be whole on their own. You gotta have your own dreams, your own goals, your own life. And your partner gotta have theirs. When two whole people come together, that's when magic happens. Space is the soil where growth takes root. When you give space, you're saying, "I believe in you. I believe in your journey." And that belief, that's powerful. It fuels growth and strengthens love. Sometimes people confuse space with distance, but space is healthy. Distance can be hurtful if it's about running away, but space is about breathing room for the soul. And everybody needs that, even in love. Think about a tree. If you plant it too close to another tree, it won't grow right. Its roots get tangled. It can't reach the sunlight it needs. Same thing with people. You gotta let each other stretch. Space lets you explore who you really are. It lets you find your voice, your passions, your purpose. And when you come back to each other after growing, you bring more love, more wisdom, and more strength. Don't be afraid of giving space. It doesn't mean the love is dying. It means it's alive and growing. And growth is the only way love gets better, not worse. So if you want love to last, give each other space. Let your partner fly and fly yourself, because the only thing that stops growth is fear. And love ain't afraid. Fear is the opposite of love. Listen, fear and love don't live in the same house. When fear moves in, love packs its bags and leaves. You can't hold on to somebody out of fear, jealousy, or insecurity and call that love. That's just fear dressed up in pretty clothes. When you're afraid to lose somebody, you act different. You get controlling, jealous, suspicious. You check their phone, you ask a million questions. You want to know where they're every minute. But that ain't love. That's fear trying to keep what it's scared of losing. Fear makes you do crazy things. It makes you doubt yourself and the person you love. It makes you see things that ain't there. And the problem with fear is it's blind. It doesn't see the good. It only sees the danger. Love is brave. Love takes risks. Love says, I trust you. Even when it's hard, love opens doors and windows instead of locking them shut. Fear wants to lock you down and hide the keys. When you love somebody, you gotta check your fear at the door. You gotta believe that if it's real, it will stand the test of time. Fear is the enemy of faith, and faith is what keeps love alive. The moment you start acting out of fear, love starts to die. You can't control love, no matter how much you try. Love is about freedom, trust, and peace, not fear. So next time you feel that fear creeping in, take a deep breath and remember, fear ain't love. And if you want love to grow, you got to let go of fear and step into faith. Faith in love means letting go. Faith is one of the hardest things to practice in love. Faith means trusting what you can't see. Faith means believing in the promises of love, even when everything looks uncertain. And sometimes faith means letting go. Letting go don't mean giving up. It means you believe so much in love that you're willing to release control. You're willing to trust that love will find its way, even if you can't see it right now. That kind of faith is rare. It's the kind of faith that says, I love you enough to let you be free. It's the kind of faith that holds on without holding tight. It's the faith that says, I don't know how this will end, but I know love will win. When you have faith in love, you stop trying to force things. You stop chasing, begging, and worrying. You let love do its thing, because love is bigger than any one person, any one moment, any one fear. Faith lets you rest in the middle of the storm. It gives you peace when you want to scream. It gives you hope when all seems lost, and that hope keeps love alive. So if you're struggling to hold on or let go, remember faith. Faith is the bridge between doubt and love, and when you cross that bridge, you find peace. True love always returns stronger. Here's the truth you gotta hear. True love don't disappear forever. It might step back, it might take a break, but true love always comes back. And when it does, it comes back stronger. Love is like a muscle. It gets stronger when you challenge it. When it faces storms, it grows resilience. When it's tested, it builds endurance, and that's true love. It's not some fairy tale, it's real work. Sometimes love takes a step back so it can leap forward. Sometimes you gotta go through the fire to come out gold, and true love, it's worth going through anything. If he disappears and comes back, pay attention, see what's different, see the growth, the change, the strength. True love is about transformation, not perfection, but progress, and if he don't come back, that's okay too, because true love also means knowing when to walk away and make space for better. True love respects itself enough to know when it's time. But when true love returns, it ain't the same love you had before. It's deeper, richer, stronger. It's the kind of love that can't be broken because it's been tested by time and trial. So don't fear disappearance. Don't panic when love seems far away. True love always returns stronger, and when it does, it's a beautiful sight to behold. Now, let me leave you with this truth. Love ain't about holding on so tight that you lose yourself or the one you love. Love is about freedom, giving space for growth, trusting when you can't see, and having faith even in the silence. Sometimes love means stepping back, disappearing for a season, not because it's gone, but because it's getting ready to come back stronger than ever. If he truly loves you, he won't stay chained to your side like a shadow. He'll give you room to shine. He'll disappear, not to run away from you, but to prepare for a future worthy of your love. Trust that. Have faith in that. Because real love isn't about possession or fear. It's about trust, respect, and believing that what's meant for you will never pass you by. So when you feel that space, that silence, or that disappearance, don't panic, don't chase, don't beg, stand tall, hold your head high, and keep living your life with purpose and passion. The love that's real will find its way back, stronger, wiser, and ready to stand with you through anything. Remember, love is a journey, not a trap, and if it's true, it'll never leave you alone. It'll disappear just enough to remind you how valuable you are, then return to hold you like the queen you were born to be. Stay strong, stay faithful, and watch how the right love works its way into your life when the time is right. Because if he truly loves you, he'll disappear. And when he comes back, baby, it'll be better than you ever dreamed.